The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
All right, everybody, welcome to today's webinar. I appreciate everybody hopping on. I know you all are pretty busy. You know how I am with these webinars. I want to keep it easy, keep it simple. And this is a platform that we've been using here for a little while now. Give a quick introduction. My name is Jacob Locke, project manager of Integrity for Life, and then handle some of the marketing here at ORG as well, which is fun. But I'm sure a few of you on the call already have a good idea, what Integrity for Life can do, the ins and outs of it, stuff like that. But for the most of you that have registered for this call, you've never seen this platform before. You don't understand the value proposition of it. And hopefully in the 20-25 minutes that we spend here, we can do that. First, with the screen you see here, we'll go through the client-facing side, and then later on, I'll show you, how you can manage the agent CRM on the back end, which will be fun. A couple housekeeping items. As always, you can ask questions whenever you want. I'll address them towards the end of the webinar. And you know how I like to make these. I want these to be interactive. I don't want to do all the talking. I guess I will do all the talking, but I want to be answering questions that you have, make it as interactive as possible. So with that being said, let's get rocking and rolling. So to start, this is the landing page consumers will see when they click on your Integrity for Life link. So to start, up here at the top, integrityforlife.com/org. That back end of the URL is actually fully customizable to your name, your agency name. You can really put whatever you want there. Same thing is applicable with the logo, the colors, the bullet points, the hero image. I mean, really, the whole 9 yards is fully customizable to you and your agency, to where you're able to push out your branding, your messaging, and what you're trying to do, as a firm, which is nice. And before we get started, keep in mind the idea with this platform is that you take this link up top, you post it on social media, you send out an email blast, you send it to a friend. The idea is that they click the link, they get a quote, they apply, and they can actually put their own policy in force, in under 10 minutes, which would be ideal, to where, it's very hands off to you as the producer, to where, dang near anything under, $2 million worth of term, you just send the client the link, they do it all themselves, and you get a notification that application's gone through. So that's the idea behind it. Let's see what the client sees when they go through. So to start, let's select the state. I've never been out in Iowa, so let's get started out there. So this is the very first screen clients will see after they select their state. And these are easy questions, pre-qualification type questions, to where, have you had cancer within the past 12 months? Do you need help with living, heart attack, stroke? Knockout type questions, to where if the consumer goes through and answers no to all of these, I mean, I'd say 9 times out of 10, they're fine to get an instant offer. Not saying they're going to get approved, but they're fine if it's all no's. We'll continue here. This part of the platform is easy. Height, weight, date of birth of the consumer, to where, instead of you as the agent or advisor having to make that phone call, send a text, send an email, and get details like, hey, what's your height and weight, date of birth, et cetera, et cetera. You just send the client the link, they're filling it out on their own, and they could be doing it at 10, 11 p.m. for all we care, which, saves you time in the long haul, which works out well. But we'll go here. We'll put in 6 foot, 190. I mean, we're not really. We'll swing over here. This is a simple part of the platform. I mean, it's a 30-second video saying, hey, this is how term life insurance can be applicable in your current point of life. Like I said, seems simple. We tried taking it a step further with the idea that, we're trying to dive into the psychographics of the consumer, to where, say I'm, 23, I'm going to see a different video than, say, a 45-year-old's going to see, and a 45-year-old's going to see a different video than, say, a 60-year-old. To where if we're able to individualize the consumer journey, the likelihood of them seeing a video that they relate to, they go through, we hope the likelihood of them going through and putting their policy in force is hopefully higher, which I think is pretty neat. But for now, we'll skip over here. And this is a cool part of the platform. I think it's actually pretty underrated as far as, advisors utilizing this. A lot of advisors can turn this part of the platform off, and I don't agree with that. with the sole sake of it being a needs analysis. So we're all licensed, at least I believe we all are. And I really like this part of the platform with the idea that, you could have a client, say her name's Mary, and Mary's coming through and she wants $500,000 worth of coverage. She comes through, she gets to this needs analysis, she goes through, she fills it out, and the needs analysis shows that she needs $2 million worth of coverage. So from our perspective, it's an easy way to, ultimately get a client to upsell themselves without us having to come across as salesy or pushy or anything of that nature. The client's figuring out their own need. They're like, oh wow, I can't believe I almost got 500,000. I actually need 2 million. Which works out well. We all know how needs analysis works. I'm going to skip over it for time's sake. But then we get to this part of the platform right here, and I actually really like what we did and how we set this up to where we set the consumer up to where, hey, you can go down one of two paths here. One on the left hand side being says monthly payout. So this product is with our mortgage and income protection product with Western and Southern that pays out a monthly death benefit. So it's not the traditional lump sum payout that we're used to, but it's a unique offering for you as the advisor to where, it's an ideal situation for somebody like me that just got a new mortgage, or somebody that has an existing one, or somebody that wants straight up income protection, to where I can go here and be like, hey, I want a 20-year term and my mortgage is about $2,000 a month. I can toggle to that right there, and say I go through, I want this, God forbid, knock on wood, I pass away tomorrow, my fiance is going to get $2,000 a month for the next 20 years. So that's the value add in that product, and especially when you tie it in with the idea that, hey, this is a decreasing term as well. So over the course of time, the client's going to save 20-40% in premiums, compared to a level term. Because the idea is that you pay this product up, say with your mortgage, as time goes on, you're paying off your mortgage, the need for the benefit goes down, hence meaning, the premiums will be down as well. Which is pretty cool. And at the same time, this is one of those true instant decision products to where it's always a yes or no. There's never going to be a medical exam. There's never going to be a phone call. By the time I click apply now, and 4 or 5 minutes later, Western and Southern's going to tell me, hey, congrats, you got approved. Would you like to put your policy in force? I say yes. And if they say no, that's fine, because they can shop out one of our other instant decision carriers through the platform. So 3 things with this product real quick: monthly payout, decreasing term, true instant decision. Pretty neat in that sense. But then we'll swing over here, and of course, we have to have the lump sum payout options for the consumers that want to go that route, they 100% can. And when they get to this screen right here, and once again, I really like how our tech team laid this out to where, I almost think of it as, say, a car dealership that offers any type of car you want. You want a Chevy, a Ford, a Mercedes, Buick. What I'm saying is that you can pick and choose what you want, to where, let's say, let's name a guy named Josh. Say Josh, his family is looking for term life insurance. They want it as quick as possible. He's going to go path one. We'll set up the expectation. Hey, by going this route, it's going to be very little effort. You're going to get up to 2 quotes, and the application process is only going to take 10 minutes. So Josh will click view quotes, and once this loads here, he'll see he has 2 different options. He can either go with SBLI or a surety. Josh can select 10, 15, 20, 30-year term lengths. He can select his coverage amount. Not sure if you guys can see this toggle, but we go as low as 25,000, and you are able to select 5 million. And I'll dive deeper into the 5 million part here in a bit. And really, this SBLI product is set up the same way as that Western and Southern one, with the idea that it's a true instant decision, yes or no. If it's a yes, you're done in 10 minutes. If it's a no, fine, shop out one of our other instant decision carriers. And you'll see here the pricing on SBLI is a tad bit more than a surety. Surety process is just a tad bit more drawn out. It's in 30 minutes. The underwriting's a little bit more don't know a good word for it. And surety is just a tougher route to go. We see a lot more clients go with this top option with the sole fact that, hey, this is the fastest application. It's 10 minutes, super easy. But then we'll swing back over here. So Josh, that was the fit for Josh's family. But then let's say, my family, we're looking for term life insurance. We want it relatively quick, but at the same time, we're more budget conscious than say Josh's family. To where path two will be for me, we'll set up the expectation. Hey, Jacob, if you go this route, it's going to take a tad bit more effort. You're going to get one quote, which is with Banner. In the application process, I mean, I have a decent amount of experience with it, and no longer than 20, 25 minutes. I mean, it's really not all that bad to where they can come here 10, 15, 20, 30. They can select what they want. Banner's pretty neat. They can go up to 2 million for an instant offer. And then, like I said earlier, anything north of 2 million, say 3, 4, $5 million worth of coverage, they can actually still select that amount and go through the same process. It'll just be more of an accelerated underwriting role. Not to say it's an instant decision, but I always tell producers, when you're marketing this link, whether if it's a $500,000 case or a $5 million case, you're either A, waking up and it's been submitted, or B, it's been put in force, which I can tell you as a licensed producer, I'll take either option. And the reason for Banner having the same pricing as they do, say through like iPipeline, guarantee if we just went through, I forget the age on this, maybe 40. If you ran 40, 10-year, 2 million, it's going to be the same exact price as this. But what Banner does compared to an SBLI and a Surety or a Western and Southern, instead of being done in 10, 15, 20 minutes, Banner set up to where application process is only going to take like 20 minutes, but as far as the instant decision goes, could take anywhere up from the same business day, anywhere up to a week. And I always tell people, you're not putting a whole lot of work into these applications, which is fine. But at the same time, in the grand scheme of things, we're used to 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks before we even get an offer. So it's not to say that this route's, slower by any means. It's just not as fast as the first path. But the client's saving money in the long haul, so you can't really go wrong. But then here we have a third option, which is all our non-instant decision carriers. These are all carriers backed by ORG to where, if a client wants a more hands-on experience, by all means, they can go here. We have several carriers to choose from. Say, a client wants to go through, they want more hands-on experience with the agent, they'll click apply with you or connect to apply with your agent. They put down their phone number if they like to be texted or if they want to be emailed. And this part of the platform actually works really well because not everybody goes through for an instant decision. Some people do want that hands-on experience. I've seen multiple advisors get several large cases just from generating quote unquote leads through this part of the platform. They market it, they're getting great, they're getting the instant decision stuff, but anything falling through the cracks, you know, we scoop it up by having this feature of the platform to where, maybe it's not term that they actually need. Maybe they need permanent coverage, or maybe you find a need for an annuity. Just it's another way to spark other conversations and still capture all that traffic coming through. So that's about it for the client-facing side. I mean, that's how a client can get a quote. If I was going fast as possible, I could probably get a quote in 30 seconds. But hopefully, this gives you guys a good idea on how or what clients are seeing. And I always get the question, Jacob, can myself as a producer go through and submit these for clients? I mean, by all means you can, as long as they know their quote and say even if they're in your office and you want a relatively quicker experience than doing traditional e-app or anything like that. You click apply for instant decision coverage, you answer the questions, submit it, and you're done. So it's pretty robust in the sense that, yeah, a client can do it all on their own, or you can pull up your link while somebody's in the office and help do it for them. Whichever route you want to go, whatever angle you want to play. So with that being said, this is the client facing side. Before I get into the agent CRM or back end of the platform, let me see if we have any questions and before we hop over there. So feel free to add those now. Looks like we have a question. What about for final expense insurance? That's a great question. So final expense is not made available through the platform yet. I know we've had internal discussions about getting a carrier or two on here. I think it'd be a big splash. We just haven't got there yet, but I wouldn't be surprised by, say, the end of this calendar year that, either we're on the 1 yard line of getting a carrier on there where we already have them on. So good question. And like I said, I always appreciate the questions. I want this to be interactive as possible. Don't want you guys leaving hanging, not sure about something. So looks like we have another question here. It says, so what if I'm not licensed in a certain state? Yeah, that's a great question. I was going to go over that in the back end of the platform, but I'll address it now. The cool thing with the platform is that we set up, so like say I'm only licensed in Indiana and I post my link on Facebook, and somebody out in Iowa buys through my link. What will happen is that you as the agent can still take credit for that sale. You get paid the exact same as if you're licensed in that state. And if you really wanted to, at the end of the day, you want to become agent of record on it, we can get that form filled out and get it over to the carrier, do whatever we need, and it'd be no different. So what I'm saying is that you can open your link to all 50 states to where you're getting traffic. You have no idea where it's coming from. You capture all of that, you get all the sales, and if you want to become that client's agent of record, by all means do it, which is a huge part of the platform. And it looks like we have a few more questions here. Where are reps getting their lead list from, or how do you suggest mass marketing this? Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. I'll try and answer it as best as I can. I always recommend there's really three different avenues to approach that from, and then you break it down. So like number one is social media marketing, not the marketing to where you post it on your personal Facebook page, maybe you get an application or two. I'm talking about paid for advertising to where you're getting in front of the right people at the right time. That's number one. I'd say number two, email marketing, to where if you do have a mass data list, or if you already have a book of business, that's an easy email. If you already have a book of business saying along the lines of, hey, thank you for the business you've done with me in the past. If you're looking for term life insurance, additional term life insurance, click the link below and you don't even have to talk to me. You can be done in 15 minutes. So a conversation like that. And then third being, if you have a website, having a page dedicated to, doing term insurance the easy way. I have a lot of experience building those out, just using the easy value props that the platform allows you to use. So easy stuff like non-medical term insurance, low cost, applying your own, easy verbiage like that, to where if you carve out a page on your website, you'll definitely pick up some traffic from there. But as far as getting their lead list, I don't know if there's one good lead vendor or not. um, or any mass marketing. I mean, you can get contacts. I saw something you can get like 20,000 contacts for like $500. I have no idea how good those are. I I like to put the ball in my court a bit more, to where I'm running TikTok ads, I'm running Facebook ads, I'm running Google ads, to where I can curate the audiences I'm going for. It's a warmer lead too, because they saw my content and my branding. And we can always talk about this offline. I know who sent this question, so we can always discuss that, so I don't hold everybody up here. Commissions, that's a great question. For everybody that's on the call, I'll address that with a grid. Let's see. Will we see any other carriers join this platform? Yeah, that's a great question. Yeah, we will definitely see another carrier on the platform. I don't know if I can name drop any, but I wouldn't be surprised by, say, end of Q3, we have two additional carriers available that will have a permanent product on it, and then with an LTC rider. So states like California, that'll be huge. I'm not going to name drop any carriers, but don't be surprised if we pick up two, or maybe heck even three. Let's see, we have a few more questions, and like I said, I don't want to take too much of your guys' time, and we'll swing over to the back end. Um, are the Path 3 options marketable under a separate link? It only mentions for higher coverage limits, but are the other three ways to explain why someone might want Path 3? Yeah, so that's a great question. As far as Path 3 goes, I mean, you can have multiple links. I mean, we just need two separate emails to maybe where one link is just the first two options to where you just want instant decision deals going through. And then you have another link to where it's almost just like a quote request. As far as verbiage goes, where it says, we have the application process here, it's not going to take 4 to 6 weeks. We obviously know that if the client's healthy enough, it could take two. We just have that there as a standard production, as standard to kind of upsell the client towards going one of these routes for the agent's sake as well, so it gets done quicker. Higher coverage limits, we can't really change that verbiage, but what I'd say to you is have two separate links, because I'll show you guys you can turn off and on any of these options. We'll cover that here in a minute. Hopefully that answers your question. Let's see. Will you show how to brand the site with our personal logo? Great question. We'll hop into the agent backend with that being said. Hopefully you guys can see the agent backend. Not the greatest with the software. Let me know if you can't see it. But so here, you say you log into your Integrity for Life link, you go here. This is where you're able to customize really everything. You manage everything. Leaking Tony's number right now, but I'm sure he won't care. So this is the ORG link. You come in, you log in, you can put in your email, your title, your phone number, your photo. It's our wonderful boss. Personal signature. That's easy stuff right there. As far as branding goes, so we're in website settings. That back end of the URL, you can type whatever you want in here. So I could put Jake-Lock, or I could put Jake Lock, or I could put ORG. I mean, you can be flexible and put whatever you want. Same thing with the logo. You just click upload image, throw in the best image you have of your logo. You go here, you can select the theme. So, any colors that you want to select. We have a guy in the office here. He's a big advocate for teal. I'm more of a blue guy. So it works out well to where you can pick and choose what you want. Not a big teal guy personally, but I'll let it slide for him in particular. But then you come over here, we have hero images. So whatever you think best conveys with your audience. If you have a particular one that your compliance team wants to see, these are two new ones we added for two separate groups. So it is possible if it makes sense. You go down here, the marketing text. I like this to where you can select whatever verbiage you want to get across to your audience. So you can toggle these, pretty self-explanatory. And then right here, I mentioned earlier, some people turn off the needs analysis. If you want, right in this section, you can turn off that intro video where you can turn off the needs analysis. You can turn them both off, keep them both on, or just keep one of them on. I mean, you can be flexible with it. We'll swing over here, which is the state assignment. I already touched on it, but I'll make it clear. Open your link to all 50 states. You're going to get paid the same no matter if you're licensed in the state or not. And you're able to capture all the traffic. I mean, pretty simple. And we'll swing over here. This is the analytics bar, and this is a big part of the platform to me, to where you come here and you're able to track any applications that have been started, halfway finished, or completed. So you can track everything that's happening as far as an application perspective goes. You have all the details you would need. You can go here, see the face amount, years, anything you need. We'll go over here, account login. I don't really ever touch on this. You can change your password, change your email. But then we swing over here. This is our notification tab. This is a newer feature to where you as the agent can customize, however you want to be notified, whether if it's through email or through text, both. I mean, you see here, I mean, it's application started, decline coverage, started but not completed, ongoing updates, stuff like that. So you're in the know, which I think is valuable. Then we'll swing over here. I'm not going to say this is going to change your world, but it's a nice feature to have, to where, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, you can click one of these buttons and take one of these several narrated videos, and they're also branded to you to where it'll pop up your contact info in the end, to where you can take one of these to social media sites. While at the same time, say you don't want to post to Facebook, you want to download this video right here, you can download it, throw it in an email marketing campaign, or really do whatever you want with it. Pretty nice. Like I said, we have 7 videos here that you can use as marketing material. and throw them on the social site. And then right here, I like this part of the platform, and I briefly touched on it earlier. This is where you can toggle which carriers you want to show. We have our 4 incident ones up here. Say you don't want to show that Western and Southern mortgage and income protection product, you can toggle it off. You only show the lump sum carriers. Say you only want to show Western and Southern, turn the rest off. Pretty nice in that sense, to where you can pick which carriers you want to work with, the ones you like, or the ones your org or one resource group life rep recommends. Once this loads here, same thing with the non-instant decision carriers. Like I said, these are all backed by ORG. We all know the names, and we have quite a few. I'm not going to bore us with all the names, and that leads to that one question I had with having just the option 3 available. To do that, you would just go up here, turn off all the incident ones, and then you would just have all the bottom ones as a quote request. Say you only wanted the incident ones, you would just click no, and all these would be turned off. So outside of that, I mean, the agent CRM back end of the platform's pretty easy in the sense that you have everything you need right here. If I want to customize, I go here. If I need to update my contact info, I go here. Want to see my analytics, I go here. But yeah, what time are we at right now? We're at, oh Lord, 2:27. Like I said, let's open up the questions. I want this to be interactive. And yeah, let's do it. So add any questions you have in the chat right now. Says, will this webinar become available for replay? Yes, it will. We'll make sure we get, if it's not today, we'll get it sent out first thing tomorrow. And then we have another question here. So the platform is fully customizable. Yeah, it is. So you would just go to the website settings, and this is where you can change the branding on everything. Once we take out this org logo, you don't see ORG anywhere. It's your firm, the client's used to seeing you. If it's a client you've worked with before, pretty nice to where they don't get confused in that sense. Did you say non-licensed states are commissionable? Yeah, so you actually get paid the same whether if it's in a state that you're licensed in or not. The only difference is if it's in a state you're not licensed in, roll up under ORG. But like I said, that's not a problem because you become the agent of record on it at a later date, which works out well. Especially, like I said, I mean, I highly encourage trying some of the social media marketing where you're getting in front of a mass amount of people. And say you get somebody out in Hawaii. I don't know how hard it is to get licensed out there, but I'm sure it's not fun. Looks like we have another question. Any recommendations for marketing the platform? Yeah, I mean, I sort of addressed it earlier, 3 different ways: social media, email marketing, and then having it available on your website. I'll try and paint you guys a quick picture on what I tried to do on the social media side of things, at least for paid for advertising. So like, let's say I have 100% of my ad budget. I split that in half. So 50 and 50. On one hand, the way I'm setting it up is that every time they click a button or interact with an ad, they're getting sent straight to my Integrity4Life link. Now that's great because you'll pick up a handful of applications, not have to do a single thing. But that doesn't always happen. To where on the other side of things, with the other 50%, what I'm doing is, instead of sending them straight to my link, I'm gathering contact info. So details like name, email, phone, date of birth, coverage amount, to where, say that person picks up, we find some common ground, and they want to do a 20-year, $1 million term. You fill it, you can almost fill it out for them, to where, on the left hand side, you're hoping you're getting all these instant decision buys, while on the right hand side, you're getting the contact info, the ball's in your court. You can sort of guide the client to make sure they're getting submitted that way. So that's a little dive into how I approach marketing the platform. Email's huge. Won't go too much into it. Don't want to keep talking too much. Another question here says advanced commissions. No, everything through the platform is paid as earned. So, and then looks like we have a few more questions. I'll let you guys be, I promise. Who do I contact to get started? Well, that's a good question. I'd actually be your point of contact. Name's Jacob Locke. My email is jacob.locke@orcorp.com. Be more than happy to help you out. All right, looks like we have a few more questions coming through. Let's see. Boop, boop, boop. One says, do I make this link myself? I mean, you can by going to integrityforlife.com/sign up. I mean, you can do that, but by all means, if you have a logo or anything you want to use, email it over to me, and we can make as many links as you want. It takes about 2 minutes, no trouble at all. We can do it for you. Looks like we have another question. Can I set up a downline for this? Yes. So that's a huge part of the platform, and we put a lot of, if I'm being transparent, time, money, and energy to this part of it. To where, yeah, if you have a relatively large downline, doesn't say it needs to be massive, but if you do, the way we can set it up is that we, say we have this master link right here, which could be, let's use ORG as an example. We could have ORG, and then if ORG has say 20 reps underneath it, this link would be able to keep track of analytics, applications being submitted, who's doing what. So pretty robust in that sense, to where yes, you can set it up for your downline, you can have reporting capabilities, everything like that, which we have several groups doing that, and it works out really well. I mean, I think I'm really proud of the way that turned out. See, website availability hidden. Yeah, so I mean, it's kind of funny we have that part. I'm not a software guy, so I don't know if we're supposed to have it or not. Right here, if you put public, anybody can see your link. Then if it's hidden, what's it say here? It says anyone with the custom link will be able to see a placeholder page, but will not be able to submit a new application. So pretty much if you press hidden, your link's deactivated. I don't know why anybody would do that, but I'm sure from a compliance standpoint or anything like that, we have that there. So if you want the applications, I recommend keeping it on public. It looks like another question. If I have a client on the phone, can I fill this out for them? That's a fantastic question, and 1000%. Like I said, if you gather that contact and you guys find the common ground to where you want to do a 20-year, $1 million policy, say with Banner, you know, I would just go straight into the process. Be like, hey, what current address are you at? What's the, if you don't mind me asking to verify your identity, what's the last four of your social? What's your height and weight? Stuff like that. And I, yeah, I'll keep it simple by saying yes. Looks like another question. Can I have more than one link? Of course. I mean, if you have 10 emails that you have and you want to make 10 links, we'll make them. And I like that too for bigger groups that are doing different types of marketing, where they want to do different types of testing. Say they're doing one campaign over mortgage protection, and they're doing a different campaign over young couples getting a cheap term. That we'll set up two different links for the separate campaigns, so they know what type of traffic they're getting from where. So yeah, by all means, do what you need. All right, looks like we're running short on questions here. Please ask any if you have any while we're on here. But like I said, I wanted to be relatively quick with this, and I know some of you have seen the platform before. For those of you that have, I hope this is a good refresher, and hopefully motivates you a tad to market this, bring this to your clients or any other agents and advisors that that you might be partnered with, stuff like that. And for those of you that haven't, after this call, we'll make sure that we make everybody a link, customize it to you guys, and test and play around with it. Not saying you have to do anything with it, but you'll have it. I mean, it's pretty. I've seen one too many stories of people just having a link, posting it, marketing it a few times, and getting several applications out of it. I mean, it's too fun not to do that. Another question says here, do you work with Josh Whitney? Yeah, so Josh used to be my right-hand man with the platform, still kind of is. He is now the Northwest or Northeast region's life insurance representative. So he's more on the permanent side and even term too, just outside the platform, but he can help you out as well. All right. Well, if there's no other questions, I'll do one more round call. But like I said, I really appreciate everybody hopping on. Hopefully, this was either a good refresher or something new that you learned. I'll be sure to get everybody a link made and branded. That way, like I said, you can play around with it. Hopefully, I haven't bored you guys too much. Hopefully, my voice isn't too unbearable. But like I said, I've probably been heading up this platform for what feels like 2 years now. I mean, I love it. I've seen it work for myself, other guys in our office internally, and then of course the agents and advisors that we work with on a daily basis. So it looks like one more. I may have missed it, but will it only be these four carriers? As far as an instant decisions perspective goes, I mean, we have four right now. Like I said earlier, we could be adding two, three by the end of the year. I'm not sure. I don't make don't make those calls, but we want to get more than that. We don't want too much, but we want to touch the permanent side, the final expense side, having those LTC riders, stuff like that, to where we're not say a one trick pony. I don't think we are by any means, since we have four carriers, but offering different product lines would be essential in my opinion. But it's 2:36, so I appreciate everybody hopping on here. Hope you have an amazing rest of your week. Stay tuned for next week's webinar, as we'll be going over what ORG can offer from an annuity perspective, which I think will be pretty neat. We don't do a lot of annuity calls on here, so it'll be fun. But I appreciate everybody hopping on. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me or your life representative or your representative here in general. Hope everybody has a great rest of their week. Thank you.